Looking better by summer does not have to be complicated. Oftentimes people think it's complicated. Let's address this by laying out 3 different program ideas. We're going to talk about my path, an advanced athlete. I've been a trainer for 25 years, a martial arts instructor for 30 years, but I have a ton of injuries that I need to work around. We're going to talk about it from a gym guy perspective, somebody who's a little bit younger than me, who works out or who works outside 5 days a week. How do they get a superhero physique by summer for the least amount of time around their work schedule? And then let's talk about a new athlete, people who are deconditioned, who have a lot of injuries that have led to them being deconditioned, and who want to get a metabolic reset so that they can look and feel better by summer in the least amount of time. My path is not normal. I have a lot of injuries. I was a circus performer back in 2007, 2008. I fell 25, 30 feet. I ripped my leg in half, complete PCL disruption, complete LCL disruption, popliteus tendon gone, meniscus gone. I need a full knee replacement. I am fighting that every single day by making sure my training is good. Surgery sucks. Once you get a knee replacement, you have about a 10-year span on that. I'm 45. If I do it now, I have to get another one at 55, another one at 65, another one at 75. So we're gonna make sure that we don't have to do that by training smarter than absolutely everybody else. Last year, I also had an infection in my skull and I got Bell's palsy because of that. If you don't know what that is, good. It means your face paralyzes, your face droops, you lose an ability to blink. And what I didn't know is your whole face shifts to the side that still has tension in it. So my nose kind of went over here. Because of that, I lost about 90% of my work capacity because I simply could not breathe or blink. And I am still recovering from it now. This program addresses me trying to reopen my sinuses without having to go get sinus surgery. Everything that I am doing is nasal breathing, which is insane from an athletic perspective. Heavy weights, fast movement with compromised nasal structure. So I have a couple of components in my training. We always have a weightlifting component in our training. Unless you're traveling and you're somewhere on the other side of the planet, then you should be able to have a kettlebell at home. Barbells are hard to keep at home. If you live in an apartment, you don't have it. A lot of people don't own their own homes anymore, or they just don't have a place with a high enough ceiling to do barbell movements. Kettlebells work underneath an 8-foot ceiling and you can do them in an apartment. That means about 99% of the population will be using kettlebells. There are 3 components in the weightlifting part of my training. Snatch. Kettlebell snatch is a work capacity drill. It's all glutes, it's all core, and it's really hard on the heart and the breathing structure. I am attempting to do this with nasal breathing. This is actually the light part of my training. We're gonna talk about this in light, heavy, and heavy parts of training. The snatch is my light part. I'm going between 20 and 24K every workout with different numbers. It's never the same weight or the same numbers ever. I am forcing my metabolism to get better and to adapt by changing the weight and the numbers every day. The really fun part of my training, which is the most important part, is the double club. This is actually the heaviest portion of my training. This puts the most overall stress on my skeleton, so I get the best benefit in the least amount of time. Double clubs is all arms, all abs, all breathing, and all glutes. It's everything that people go to the gym to get. 20 minutes twice a week. Double clubs means that we're putting a club in each hand, preferably heavy clubs, but this is pretty advanced. Our goal is to get them up. This is a lot of load on my skeleton. I'm stopping one side of my body from moving, which is just core on its own, and moving the other part. I am focusing on nasal breathing with this. The double club portion of my training is 20 minutes twice a week. This is the most important part of the weightlifting portion of my training. Let's think about this from a looking good perspective. Snatch is a version of a deadlift. Clean and press is in Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding as the key exercise to develop a truly Herculean physique. Whether it's done with kettlebells, barbells, or dumbbells, some version of a deadlift, some version of a clean and press will make you look good in the least amount of time. That idea carries over across everything. We'll get to that in a minute. The main thing that I'm gonna do to look better by summer is to really affect my metabolism. That means I need to do a different metabolic format each day. That means a different series of movements, a different amount of time under load, and a different amount of rest. I'm using a bunch of these. This is a program I wrote for a stunt guy a long time ago. There are 78 workouts in the Bodyweight series I'm doing. We call this phase 3 Bodyweight. We call it stakeout just because it's meant to be done in a really small space. Movie guys were always naming things weird stuff. But by alternating different metabolic formats each day, I am forcing my cells to use energy in different ways each day. This is key to affecting our metabolism in the least amount of time. We are putting load on our skeleton. Key has to be there. Some version of a deadlift, some version of a clean and press, arms, abs, glutes, and shoulder therapy. Body weight training, 20 minutes each day. One day is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of break. That is really hard. That is an anaerobic profile. Most people don't use energy that way. This tends to be the most challenging for people. 40-20, which is another version of a Tabata of 20-10. It's twice as long. If we do these two back and forth on their own, that's already a metabolic program. Then we have 30-30, which is an aerobic system, equal amounts of work and break, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of break, anaerobic, anaerobic, aerobic. And then 90-30, 90 seconds of work, 30 seconds of break. 90 seconds of work, if you put your body under load for 90 seconds in any type of movement, it is a muscle development protocol. We're just applying this to movements. I like to do a bunch of really dumb stuff like ride dirt bikes and ride horses and ride mountain bikes, which I just don't have the capacity to do right now, but I want to. So I need to make sure my body moves well. Because of my really bad knee injury, every movement I choose needs to support how my body moves. We're not just doing things to look good, we're doing things to function well. This is the exact same strategy that you would use to train somebody to be an action hero in an action movie. They need to lift weights, some type of deadlift, some type of clean and press, and ground engagement. If you watch movies, people hit the ground and they pop up all the time. As many versions of get-ups as you can do in different metabolic formats, that is always a good strategy. When you think of programs, we categorize them in different types of things. We consider phase 1 programs to be things for new athletes that are designed to help people get out of pain and stand up well. We consider things that are phase 2 programs to be like Olympic lifting. They're multi-year programs where you focus on core lifts and you get better at them over the course of years. If you've ever done Olympic lifting, you're looking at 5 to 8 years. There's a 1-year version of that program, but the guys who are high-level athletes are doing Olympic lifts for 5 to 8 years, and they're doing a math program for them. It's not random. That's what we consider to be phase 2. Phase 3 programs, which are this double club program and this body weight program, are non-repeating programs focused on core human movements. They are designed to affect your metabolism and make you look good forever. The problem with doing phase 2 is you're practicing a limited series of movements and trying to get really, really good at them. If you want to master anything, you master the basics. Phase 2 is mastering the basics. Phase 3 is more along the lines of what you would see in CrossFit. It's your daily load. The difference is CrossFit uses a bunch of equipment, squat racks, barbells, all kinds of stuff that's hard for people to acquire and hard for people to do in a limited amount of space. Our phase 3 training is designed to be done in a small space, and it's designed to be portable but have the same effect as a workout of the day. Constantly changing, you can never adapt to it. Your goal is to get better and faster while focusing on core technique. Let's talk about, we call this gym guy or blue collar worker. Blue collar worker assumes that you're not in a huge amount of pain and you have reasonably good work capacity. The main 2 types of weightlifting that we are working on, I encourage people to do swings and clean and press. Once again, deadlift family, clean and press family, deadlift family, clean and press family. If your weightlifting is focused on those 2 core ideas, you tend to get good results no matter what. We encourage people to do the kettlebell version because if you work 5 days a week, if you're a blue collar guy, you can do this in your living room when you're having your coffee. A swing program is twice a week, it's 10 minutes, and it's a math program. It's a phase 2 program where you're going up in a predictable pattern for years at a time. This is the basis of a superhero physique. This is the basis of a Herculean physique. When you do a single arm clean and press instead of a barbell clean and press, you get a lot more ab load because you've shoved all the load to one side of your body, so you get a lot more core contraction. It makes you look better by summer in the least amount of time. Barbell clean and press is a multi-year strategy. Kettlebell clean and press is a much faster strategy to look good. After the weightlifting component, we go to body weight get-ups. This is a fun idea, how to affect your metabolism in the least amount of time. We're gonna pick 3 different types of get-ups. I pick what we call a Krav get-up. Think of this as a self-defense get-up. This has a hip drop in it. The hip drop causes you to engage your core in a way that you don't do in the gym at all. But if you were training for a judo tournament or you're training for an action movie, this is your best friend. The hip drop movement is how you hit the ground and get up quickly without getting hurt. By doing the hip drop family of movements, you are ensuring that your lower back works well to absorb impact. For summer, I want to ride dirt bikes. I am inevitably going to fall off of them. This is the idea that keeps you alive. This idea is buried in the phase 3 idea. When it's a phase 2 idea, you're developing skill, specific skills. You're working on one type of get-up. A prone get-up is a technical burpee. If you have back pain, which everybody I know who's a blue-collar worker does, they tend not to be able to do burpees. Burpees work great for 18-year-old Marines because they have a fresh, young spine. If you've been really beat up by life, you're in your mid-30s, you work 5 days a week, you need to get smarter about your burpee. That's what we call a prone get-up. Prone, chest towards the ground, but we break it up so that we are avoiding the lower back discomfort. The last piece of this is a screwing push-up. When people do push-ups, they tend to dump their core when they're trying to do a lot of them. Instead of trying to do more push-ups, we're gonna try to do better push-ups. A screwing push-up is where you roll on the ground and press up. A prone get-up and screwing push-up allow you to avoid back sway and then make your core stronger faster. When you use 3 different types of get-ups, you can do something really interesting. You can alternate metabolic formats each day. This makes you look good in the least amount of time. Let's say day 1, this get-up is designed as 20 seconds to work, 10 seconds to break. Tabata protocol does not exist in weightlifting. For the most part, if you're an average gym guy, it doesn't exist. This will change the way your cells use energy. The next day, you would do a 30-30. Think of this as anaerobic. It's one cellular system. Think of this as aerobic, a different cellular system. Then we do a 20-10. Anaerobic, aerobic, anaerobic. Then the cycle starts over, but it flips. And it goes aerobic, anaerobic, aerobic. Cheap trick. Cheap trick allows you to do get-ups. Think of a burpee as a get-up. It's the fastest way to get in shape with body weight training if you have the least amount of space and the least amount of equipment. Then do technical things that mean that you can't hurt your back. You can eliminate back sway. Then alternate metabolic format each day. Surefire plan to get good looking in the least amount of time. 6 weeks of this is a cellular reset. If you run this for 3 months, you get a lot of good result in a little period of time. When you stack it on top of a deadlift and a clean and press, you have a surefire strategy to look good in the least amount of time while not being in pain and learning to endure. Everything needs to be designed to be done quickly and easily. We're eliminating travel to the gym itself because travel to the gym gets harder as we approach summer. The final version of this idea applies to new athletes. New athletes are people who may be deconditioned or may have a lot of injuries that led them to be deconditioned. I know a lot of ex-military guys who are in the new athlete category. We call this phase 1. Phase 1, lots of injuries, deconditioned, overweight. Phase 2, predictable mathematical improvement where you acquire specific skills. Phase 3, apply skills to different formats every day, forever. We're always looking for Batman somewhere in here. When we're a new athlete, we're going to eliminate one idea. We're going to eliminate body weight get-ups. If you are overweight, you have 50 pounds extra on your frame, then you are essentially trying to do get-ups with a 50-pound sandbag on you. If you're 100 pounds overweight, you have a 100-pound sandbag on you. Anybody who tells you to do get-ups if you're deconditioned and overweight is not somebody you should listen to. Do not listen to them. There are 2 pieces to this new athlete program. Deadlift, deadlift, deadlift. Kettlebell swings is the fastest way to get in shape for anybody. For new athletes, that still applies. You cannot do swings every day. You will overtrain, you will get hurt. We are gonna alternate this with what we essentially call a light day. Think of this as light day. Think of this as heavy day. Light day, we have a program we call Intro to Kettlebell. In Intro to Kettlebell, we have 25 movements. Each day has 5 movements. These are labeled day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, but you can think of them as level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Simple to complex. We're doing different movements each day. That means we cannot adapt to it, but we are focusing on learning fundamental movement skills that allow us to not be in pain. The problem is most new athletes try to jump right into a weight loss program and they get really, really hurt really fast. And then they think that they can't do it. They learn to fail instead of learn to succeed. This is the strategy to learn to succeed. Everything in ITK is about developing the clean. If you can't do the clean, you can't do the clean and press. So you need to develop the clean and the deadlift so that you can have a clean and press and a deadlift in the future. The way that this works out is you would do level 1. Next day, swings. Level 2, swings. Level 3, swings. There you go. That's 6 days a week. Most people are probably going to do 5. So it would be swings. Level 4, swings. Level 5, swings, start over. And then this block would repeat. The swing workout changes every time. It's never the same numbers. It would go sets of 6, sets of 8, sets of 10, sets of 12, sets of 14. When it starts back over here, it would be 16, 18, 20. The goal is to change the way our cells work while learning to move better, while doing movements that are useful. We are basing everything on a deadlift pattern and a clean pattern to get us to a deadlift and a clean and press pattern. That is the most important thing in almost any type of program designed to make you look better. After that, we have some type of ground engagement. Even if we're learning how to get up off of the ground in specific ways, we are changing the metabolism each time. New athletes will move over here maybe next year, but there is always an answer for everybody that makes sense and works. Think about picking 2 things and alternating them back and forth. A lot of these ideas come from working with stunt guys. The main thing a stunt guy does in a movie is fall down and get up. If they fall down without getting hurt and they get up well, they have a career. Take that idea and apply it to your entire life. The goal is to make our cells work better so that we look better by summer, and then to be able to actually do cool stuff with the physique that we build.